Round and around we go. Where do we go? Nobody knows, except I do. And today we are talking about moving necessities. You need the moving necessities because that is the recipe to be the best person you can be. You need the moving necessities because that is the great recipe to go ahead and have a great start. As you prepare for your next adventure, whether you're studying abroad or moving abroad, you're gonna go away for at least 90 days. So, to get yourself acquainted and comfortable for those who are going for an extended period of time and for those who are trying to start your new life, I made a general list of things that you should bring on your adventure. Some of the things I have brought with me, and some of the things I'm going to talk about are things I wish I had thought about before I left my home country. For those who like bullet points, the items I'm going to talk about in general are going to be your preferred hygiene and sanitation items, having your 90-day supply of your medication, or the max amount you can bring on your trip there. For people who are plus size or have different fashion tastes, I would say your clothes and shoes, comfort items, and adjustment items. That's the bullet point, and I am now about to go into more depth about each and every one of the items that I'm talking about. Starting with the most simplest item is your preferred hygiene items or sanitation items. Examples of sanitation or hygiene items include bar soaps, shaving materials, deodorants, hair care products, menstrual materials, makeup, and any preferred toothpaste. I will reiterate that the emphasis is on preferred. Can you get these same products or similar products at your destination? Yes. However, the question that you're going to have to ask yourself is it the same strength? Does it have the same smell? Does it have the same composition? Due to different countries having different regulations on materials or ingredients that could be added into sanitation and personal hygiene products, the composition of those materials will be different depending on where you're landing. So you would need to do your research beforehand and figure out if that's what you want. This is highly recommended for those who have sensitive skin, sensitive teeth, so fluoride may or may not work for them. If you like having certain things in your deodorant, and if you want your deodorant in a different scent, you should do that now. Get your research done and out of the way. Then you'll be able to create a list of the items that are there and the ones that aren't there. So when you're doing research on things that are there, your question should be not only is it in stock, but is it easy for you to get to the stocked item? If it's not, then I recommend you bringing a small amount from your home country, and then once you get used to living abroad, then you can go out and travel to get those other items. The point is, you're making these moving necessities so that you're transitioning from one country to another country would be smoother. And speaking of making things smoother, medication is also a thing that you have to worry about in your home country now, and then you have to try to plan in your host country later. When you're moving abroad, certain countries have a medication limit and or you have to get an exemption letter, and that has to be sent to the embassy so that it could be approved. So that way, if they need to check your bag at the airport through immigration, you have all your documentation and you will be able to pass by with those items. I can say a good amount of destinations would allow people to come in with medication supply that's under 90 days. However, you would need to email your embassy to confirm if your medication does meet that requirement or if you need to have more documentations. And when I talk about medication, this includes prescribed medication, pain reliever, fever reducers, allergy relief medication, and any supplements that you want, because just like the hygiene products have regulations on them, so does medication, if not more so. For prescribed medications, I recommend talking to your doctor about it as you've gotten your approval, and take a month or two to kind of discuss what is the maximum that they can prescribe you and you can pick up, and correlate that with the maximum amount of dosage that you can bring into your said destination. Even though it might be a hassle for you to go and get the 90-day supply while you're in your home country, I recommend doing that now, so that way it's not urgent when you run out of it. So you have 90 days to find a doctor, 90 days to get your insurance in check, 90 days to learn the process on how they prescribe medication, send medication to pharmacies, how to pick up the medication, and you won't have to have it clash all at once while you're trying to move in, buy furniture, get your immigration documentation done, work documentation done, bank documentation done. All of that is typically going to be done within the first month, and you're going to be exhausted, ripping and running around. So to prepare yourself to not have to do all of that on top of finding the doctor, on top of them trying to figure out their medication process, on top of the fact if they will even approve you for it, because certain countries, they require that the physician has a relationship with you in the form of being able to be seen repeatedly. And just because you come one time, the physician might not be comfortable prescribing that to you, even if you have a doctor's note from the US. Some of them wants to go through their own testing and verify it before they even write you that. And that could be 2 to 3 appointments in and of itself. And depending on that physician's schedule, that can be 2 to 3 weeks apart each and every time, which is about another month and a half. You basically would have ran out if you only had 1 month left. To avoid all of that, just go ahead and do the 90 days here. Pay whatever out of pocket costs now, so you don't have to regret it later. And that covers medication. Now we're on to clothes, makeup, shoes, and accessories. Depending on who you ask and when you look on the internet, people would recommend that you just buy the clothes in the destination country, because one, that makes your luggage lighter. Two, you can probably get it for cheaper. And three, and it's a nice way for you to have closet space to go ahead and start adding items. This work for people in certain sizes, whether that's clothes wise or shoes wise. The bigger in size that you are, the harder it is to find those items. Don't let it be a unique modification, such as your wide foot. You might need it longer. You might be wide in some pants. You then significantly decrease your chance of getting these items at your destination. So when you do your research, you should look at what is the average height, pant size, shoe size, bust size for women, waist size for men and women, leg size if you're a tall person. So this can apply for men and women, because different countries have different form-fitting styles. Then you have to look at the styling of the country. If their style isn't what you want, or you don't think it's a nice fit or match for yourself, then you will still need to buy clothes from your home country, regardless or not the destination country's clothes, shoes can fit you. This also applies to makeup, and this typically occurs with Black women. So, because I'm abroad and my destination is still Japan, I'm going to make a side episode on Black makeup for women in Japan. But back to the topic at hand. Yes, because Black women typically have a harder time finding their shade, in the destination, I recommend having maybe 1 to 2 vials or products of each thing that you use. So, like 2 blushes, 2 foundations, 2 concealers. If you use different types of concealer, I would say for each product that you have, just buy 2 that are unopened, because the expiration date on them doesn't count until after you open the product, according to the thing on the back. That way, you will still have your products and you'll be able to search with less stress and urgency, which is the point of this conversation altogether. Next items are your comfort items. All of the changes that happen when you move abroad can be uncomfortable because it's happening simultaneously. So, you would like some comfort items that can give you a bit of a stress relief and take away some of your worries at that point in time. So these are typically like small items or digital items. So if you have maybe CDs, different type of music that may or may not be allowed in your destination, these could be perfumes, photos, candles. Those things are small comfort items, and big comfort items are like bath sheets because you like to wrap a towel around yourself, maybe certain types of bed sheets because you're used to a certain fabric, or like LED light strips that you like to hang around in your room to change the colors because it reminds you of home. Posters, stickers, design. Those are things that are comfort because it's easy to be picked up and taken here. And sometimes you can find those similar items in your destination. A level up from those items are items that I would like to call adjustment products. Adjustment products are basically the transitioning items that will hold you on by until you're fully acclimated into your destination's environment. These products typically help you with the culture shock. Examples of culture shock that could have adjustment items are cooking, bathing, housing furniture, different smells, and different sounds. So, because it can be overwhelming all at once, you should bring some items from home to help you start with, so you have a sense of some stability, ability, and then as you keep using each item consecutively, it decreases because you don't have any more of that product. And by the time the item's finished, you should have a good sense of where you're at and being able to adjust to it. Example of adjustment products. If you're doing cooking at home, this would be bringing your own spices from your home country, seasoning packets, sauces, etc. If it's food, that's going to be your snacks, your candies that you are able to pack in and it'll be preserved. When it comes down to bathing, this could be like a loofah, uh, a sponge net or exfoliate net, robes, your favorite bar soaps from your country, your favorite shampoo from your country. Those would count as bathing uh, adjustment products. And for furniture, depending on how the house is structured, some have different heating styles. Some are heavily insulated, some are not. Finding things from your country that can help you adjust to either the coldness or the heat. For the bedroom, it might be a pillow or a very nice throw blanket. I don't have anything for the kitchen because unless you want to bring like mini racks that you could put up, but that would carry weight. And that's it. This is Around and Around We Go. Where did we go? We went and talked about moving necessities. Hopefully, this helps. Next episode, we will be talking about the biggest hurdles when it comes to moving abroad. Yes, so I will see you around.